Show starts in 8 minutes. Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. We promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go! Show starts in 7 minutes.
It's refreshment time, folks.
Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on. Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on.
Yum, yum. It's a meal in itself. Our all-meat super dog. Enjoy one now.
Show starts in 6 minutes.
As everyone knows, rainbows usually have a treasure at the end. Let's follow this one and see if we can find the pot of gold.
Ah, there, and I suppose you've come to claim me treasure.
Well, we'd like to see the gold first.
Faith, and there's better than gold in here, me lad. No, just look here, no.
Candy, refreshing soft drinks, popcorn, ice cream. Well, that's some treasure, but anyone can buy luscious treats like these at the snack bar.
You don't tell me. Do you suppose you could get me a job as a snack bar attendant?
Show starts in 5 minutes.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here. And while you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks, delicious sandwiches, ice cream, coffee and snacks, and many other pleasing treats. Our foods are fresh and tasty, our drinks satisfying and refreshing. They're so good.
You get more out of life when you go out to a movie.
Show starts in 4 minutes.
To visit our snack bar and treat yourself to some delicious Castleberry's pit-cooked barbecue sandwiches. Cooked the Castleberry way, slowly over open pits of glowing charcoal, then seasoned with a sauce that's zesty, yet delightfully mild to please the entire family. Also at the snack bar, you'll find popcorn and soft drinks and candy and French fries to go with your Castleberry's barbecue sandwiches. There's plenty of time before the movie starts, so visit our snack bar right now for Castleberry's pit-cooked barbecue sandwiches.
Still plenty of time to come and be served at the refreshment center before showtime.
Show starts in 3 minutes. Show starts in 2 minutes.
Your attention, please. All new hotshot electric in-car heaters have been installed for your comfort and convenience. Just insert heater through car window and turn on the switch. When leaving, please turn switch off and replace on speaker post. Warning, high voltage. For your own safety, do not attempt to repair or remove wires. Do not attempt to open heater unit. If you need assistance, please notify the theater box office or concession manager.
Show starts in 1 minute.
Please remember to replace the speaker on the post when you leave the theater.
And now, on with the show.
The GoreCast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel in the world. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, all horror. As well as the station of decapitation Without Your Head.
America's longest running horror channel, www.withoutyourhead.com.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
What's up, GoreCasters, and welcome back here to the GoreCast on Sunday with me, Johnny Deadly, and this fantastic son of a bitch, the Giz.
Hello! How are we now?
That's good. I'm going to get back to sharing. Hasn't happened in a while?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. That's why the show is always late, because I was like, we can't keep sharing during the show, but then the show is always late. So 1 week would be late, another week would be on time, but sharing.
Yeah, see how it goes.
At the same time.
This week we are returning to our theme.
Alright!
What?
We're alright?
Well, we are a little bit, yeah, but we'll leave that for
mildly miffed, actually, if I was to really put it on a nail on.
We'll leave that for when the American piece.
Thingamajig is.
Yeah.
We are going to have to mention it before the American thing.
Yes,
okay, cool.
I know. But anyway, as I said, it's a return to theme nights. And this time we have a very, very special theme that I'm kind of surprised we haven't covered before. Ghostbusters!
Yeah. As you'd all see a little bit later on, we even came up with our own tune there, because that's how I roll.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Right free. That's how I roll.
With the recent announcement that there's going to be another new Ghostbusters movie coming out in 2020, we decided we would take a look at the 3 films that have already come out, do a review, and basically give you the lowdown on everything Ghostbustery that I have in my brain, which, to be fair, is kind of a lot. Ghostbusters originally started off as the brainchild of Dan Aykroyd.
There is actually a lot of it, isn't there? Like, I don't think people actually realise how much Ghostbusters... There's a lot. Yeah. Like, I was aware of quite a lot of it.
Yeah.
And then he astounded me during the week that I was like, fuck off, really. There's like literally that much unbelievable amounts of it. Anyway, continue, my friend.
Yeah. Originally starting out as the brainchild of Dan Aykroyd, who was basically looking for another vehicle for himself and John Belushi. since they were doing such fantastic work on Saturday Night Live, Blues Brothers, and all the rest of it.
Just fantastic work in life in general.
The notions were actually inspired when Dan Aykroyd read a couple of articles in the American Society of Psychoclinical Research. Yeah, there we go. Basically about quantum physics and parapsychology. And having seen films like Ghost Chasers, decided, you know what, it'd be a really cool idea if maybe we did some of this and maybe kind of redo our own version of it and update it with some of the pseudoscience that's there now, where at the time it was believed they could actually capture ectoplasm and ghostial entities. And so he came up with this kind of madcap...
He's also fascinated by ghosts.
Yeah, but he came up with this kind of madcap time-traveling adventure that would have seen a team of Ghostbusters in like riot gear traveling through time and space and fighting all kinds of giant ghost-like monsters, including, to be fair, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Ivan Reitman was approached as a possible director. Unfortunately, Ivan Reitman immediately saw that there was kind of issues with the whole budget. That basically, Aykroyd's script was fucking insane, and he was like, look, there's no way we can actually film this.
You can either have ghosts or you can have time travel. Pick.
Kind of, yeah. Then
it's just a bunch of guys time traveling. Then if there's no ghosts, I suppose we'll just go with the ghosts.
It was also a lot more random, apparently, insofar as what was going on.
I'd fucking imagine so if Aykroyd.
Yeah, not so much the streamlined storyline that we would eventually get. Things were also further like the
thermic in the studio.
It is, yeah. The color of my I can't feel my fingers.
Yeah, my hand's actually cramped up typing there.
Yeah. But like I said, the Reitman told Dan Aykroyd that he'd need
my
to.
phone's always overheating. I'll do this close enough.
Just hold it in your hands, maybe warm your fingers. But due to Aykroyd's insane imagination, things would have to be retooled. This kind of was also necessitated by the death of Belushi, who was set to actually, weirdly enough, he would have been playing Venkman's character. So, the script went through a big rewrite with Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, which eventually gave us the more streamlined and focused Ghostbusters story that we have now. Like I said, Bill Murray would be brought in to play Peter Venkman, and we ended up with Ernie Hudson as Winston, Annie Potts as Janine Melnitz, the brains behind the Ghostbusters, to be perfectly honest, and cinematic greatness was born. I mean, we're talking about a film that in 2005 got voted by Bravo as the best comedy ever. Or was it IGN? No, IGN had it at 28 in the top 100 movies ever. That was it. But the cinematic success of the Ghostbusters film spawned, quite frankly, an entire franchise, beginning with the real Ghostbusters cartoon as envisioned by Ramis and Aykroyd, which kind of picked up the story after the first film and introduced... the film itself, the original movie, it is one of those films that categorized the kind of thing that was done a lot in the 80s, where you had a movie that adults can go and sit down and watch, and they'll appreciate it on one level, while kids appreciate it on a different level. And so the cartoon managed to hype up the fact that the kids were into it, and was such a success that it lasted for...
years.
Lasted up until 91. That was it. Lasted up until 91. Of course, the reason that it was called The Real Ghostbusters is because Funimation had a Ghostbusters cartoon at the same time, which was based on...
Funimation.
Well, to be fair...
Stable injection of my youth.
Yeah, and to be fair, they were kind of there first, because their version of Ghostbusters was based on the Ghost Chasers films, I think. The old black and white movies.
The GoreCast is now live, streaming PUBG Mobile. GoreCast 101. We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Why are we streaming PUBG Mobile?
I must have forgot to change it to Talk Show instead of PUBG Mobile.
But you said the PUBG has the zombies, so it kind of makes sense now.
Yeah, I was playing the PUBG... I was playing the PUBG zombie thing on beta, which is in accordance with the Resident Evil 2 remastering relaunch. Yeah, I suppose this is a bit of horror news so we don't get kicked off Twitch. Yeah, it's totally cool. They basically took bits of Raccoon City and put them into the Erangel map on PUBG Mobile. So you have like the Raccoon City police station, and I think there's another kind of cemetery place. And you have your standard 100 people land on an island and you all have to murder each other. But there's also... it's Battle Royale, except they're given actual guns.
Some of them had guns in Battle Royale.
Some of them had guns. pretty much everybody has guns in this, unless you've got a pan, which is great. No, it's actually, the pan's like a steel... This is how good the game is. The pan's like a super hard steel pan, so it hangs at the back of your bag, so there's times when people are shooting you from behind, all you can hear is ping, 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 and if you hold the pan and run and swing the pan, you can occasionally knock bullets out of the way. Not all of them, but some of them.
Pans of that caliber are also useful for knocking sandmen out.
Anyway, back to the zombies, so we can get back onto the actual topic as quick as is humanly possible. So they've done a really good job of putting Resident Evil 2 into the game. Like, you don't get the crate drops where you used to get like special weapons and stuff. Instead, the Tyrant from Resident Evil 2, who's the final boss, shows up and he charges you and does all the same shit that the Tyrant does, but you and your team have to like murder him, and then you get a crate drops worth of shit. Actually, way more stuff out of him. And there's like extra guns like Gatling guns and flamethrowers and kind of all the cool guns that were in Resident Evil 2 that you can't get in the usual map. I think it's next week it's coming out in general. PUBG Mobile, I know it's on the beta version at the moment. How to get it. So good. Anyway, back to Ghostbusters. Now that I've covered that little thing, we were saying hello to everyone seeing as we took time because there's actually the chat feed's actually. Oh, it looked more lit there a minute ago. Anyway, Bern Murphy's in. Say hello. Dara McCann is in. Say hello.
Hello, Dara.
Katie McNeil's in.
Hey,
Hecko.
Katie.
Everyone's saying heck these days.
No, that was
a typo.
Yeah,
that's cool. Seen the old Savoy Cinema. That's always nice to hear, Kurgan. Also in Hindi. Yeah, we were watching the cartoon in French, but also reading it in German earlier.
Subtitles because someone messed with his Netflix settings. We think. we're not 100% sure. Or Netflix is just messing with me. You cannot watch the Ghostbusters unless you speak French or German or read German. I guess you're fine.
I don't get French.
Nobody gets French.
Zinga.
Thank you.
Also, don't forget Rick Moranis. Oh, we won't.
Oh, we never forget Rick Moranis.
Heidi hi. Hello, Kurgan.
And
how are you?
Howdy ho.
Okay, that's good. That's all the howdy hoes and doodles. I'll just double check on Facebook because.
Okay. Shall I?
Yeah, you continue on. We can say hello. We can take another hello break if it needs to be.
As I said, the real Ghostbusters cartoon started in '86.
To sell your kids as many toys as is humanly possible.
Well, to be fair, some of the early episodes were actually fairly dark. Now, obviously, they are kiddie-ish to a certain degree.
Yeah.
But the first season or two had some very decent and at times dark storylines.
I'll tell you what it did have. It was like a real similar 80s soundtrack to the original movie, which was great.
Yeah.
Just this really cool 80s music playing as they're like, oh god, ghosts are bondaging me. It was very bondagey.
Okay.
There's a lot of bondage in 80s cartoons. People just don't. Is it my brain just works different?
Considering I didn't spot that.
Ray's character, and he gets all wrapped up in the pipes and stuff, and it's around his mouth and all this kind of shit, and his eyes covered and the whole 9 yards.
In that one episode where they went into the hardware store and it was all Hoovers and appliances with cords and stuff.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it's like the whole goddamn series is like a testimony to bondage. I was just saying that like most 80s cartoons have like bondagey shit in them.
All right,
but it's a stable toilet of superhero related things. There's always someone getting tied up.
Plus, let us not forget they are all running around in that really tight spandex.
My second point. And wearing masks. Or taking glasses on and off, depending. Although he never tied anybody up.
To be fair, all anyone has to do is look at the comic book version of Scarlet Witch and you're sorted. Anyway, as I said, the cartoon ran until 91 when it got cancelled, but then a revival happened in 97, I think.
FTR.
With the Extreme Ghostbusters, which picked up, what? FTR, what? Faster Than Light? What? No.
That's Skippy. No, that's Flipper.
Faster Than Light?
Yeah. Are we goodness things?
No, we're not.
That's already happened.
No, we're not. We're not. As well as the cartoon series, Ghostbusters have always had a comic book series running. In 1988, Now Comics and Marvel Comics had kind of like joint publishing deals. Now covered America and Marvel covered Europe. And they went strong for a good decade or so, I think, publishing real Ghostbuster adventures, like based on the cartoon series. In the early 2000s, I believe, 88 Miles Per Hour got the rights to start doing a bunch of Ghostbusters comics, which was eventually taken up then in, I want want to say 2014, but I might be wrong, by IDW, who are currently
You're
running...
going to hear your brain break.
I can't remember time and space as properly as I probably should. But anyway, yeah, the currently running series is done by IDW and have managed to integrate everything the way that IDW does, because they are kings of doing that, as we saw with the Transformers universe and the Hasbro stuff. That was brilliant. Their comic has interdimensional travel, which brings in the characters from the real Ghostbusters, brings in the characters from Extreme Ghostbusters, even brings in the characters from the 2016 reboot, whatever you want to call it. The reason I'm being loud about that is because that's part of a point that will be made in the American episode later on. Overall, when you look at the franchise that is Ghostbusters, you can honestly say that it has been going strong for the last 30 years, encompassing TV, comic books, novels, cartoons, obviously, the movie franchise, the films themselves, the original 2 movies. While the second one was not received as well as the first at the time by some people, both movies still actually stand the test of time. You can happily sit down, put them on, and laugh your ass off because they're still good.
I can tell you for a fact you can, because I just did.
Yeah, they're still good and they're still funny. We'll be getting into exactly the reasons why later on. As you can see, there is so much material and there is such a cult following for the Ghostbusters franchise that obviously in 2016 or 2014, when the news was originally broken, about the original, the reboot and everything, it garnered an awful lot of attention. And I think it got mishandled because people didn't realize the cult following that were behind it, and the fact that some people are fucking nuts when it comes to their fan fiction stuff and just...
Yeah. Well, also
that's even me saying that, like...
Also, and I think Paul Feig kind of even said it himself, like... when it became an all-women's cast, it wasn't supposed to be this political stand and tirade. It was just they wanted to do an all-women's cast, and it ended up becoming this kind of flagship for a voice.
Honestly,
that I think put it up on a much higher pedestal.
And it was bad timing. It was bad timing because that happened the exact same time as all that fucking...
That's a bad movie.
Well, that didn't help matters. But before the film even started, it was bad timing because of what they were doing and because the internet was aflame with morons screaming about women being bad and morons screaming about men being bad and just morons in general screaming at each other because...
They can't just figure out we're all bad.
Precisely. We're a fucking virus. Get it through your thick Goram skulls. Jesus H. Tap dancing Christ.
Yeah, we're just slowly eating the planet from the outside in.
Yeah, pretty much. But as a result, it garnered... As a result, it garnered all this really bad publicity, and...
Your chair's way higher than mine. What's going on?
I don't know. You adjust your chairs. I don't touch mine.
I'm getting the big chair next week.
But it garnered all this bad publicity, which, kind of put a bit of a stink on things, unfortunately, and meant that, well, quite frankly, when news broke that the new film is being done, that we have a new Ghostbusters movie to look forward to in 2020, especially the fact that it's being directed by the son of the guy that directed the original movies, everyone
gives
got excited.
me promise.
Now, there is of course the caveat that while everyone is all excited, especially after seeing that teaser trailer that had the old Ecto-1, it has not in any way, shape or form been confirmed that any of the original cast are on board.
Bar Aykroyd saying it,
which, with the possible exception of Dan Aykroyd, because to be perfectly honest...
He's occasionally been known to just blurt stuff out. It mightn't be particularly...
Well, it's not just that. I don't think they'd be able to stop Dan Aykroyd from being involved. It's mine! I'm in it! I don't care! I want it!
Well, it's his property. No, I don't mean Aykroyd. I mean, Aykroyd was saying that all of them are in. It's just Aykroyd. They won't have a problem.
Ernie Hudson is sitting there kind of...
Two of them are dead.
I'd be in...
No, they're not. No, I know, yeah. I'm just saying that was a joke.
Yeah. Ernie Hudson is kind of like sitting...
Oh, now they make a noise.
For those of you that missed our 100th episode.
Bino, it's fine. You can call Tesco's. They work now.
Too late now. He's already on to fucking like round 3 of some fucking get my money back crap.
You give me new blowers. Now. I demand it. Or give me some other noise making device. Either or.
Yeah. Okay.
You'll do it too. That's the great thing.
Oh God. Shall we crack into the...
Yeah, we'll do a trailer and we'll move in, will we?
If you
or
want.
do you want to just crack into the first one?
I don't mind.
We've been talking a good bit, so I thought a trailer might be nice.
Okay, why not?
Okay, we're going to start with the trailer for Ghostbusters 1, then we're going to talk about Ghostbusters 1.
Get you all hyped as to the reason why everyone...
Hype. Load up, you fucker. I got 2 hypes there and it took too long.
No.
It anti-hyped me. There's something going on with this chair, man. That's not like...
Don't look at me.
I look
It's not
epically
like...
shorter compared to you for some reason.
Ha! I'm tall for once.
You're
Yay.
not though. You're just on the high chair.
Oh.
Ghosts.
Hello, Ghostbusters.
They're real.
You do?
They're mean.
You have?
They're here. Ghostbusters.
Hey, anybody see a ghost?
They catch the ghost that won't stay dead. They're armed. They're dangerous.
Try to imagine all life as you know it stopping instantaneously and every molecule in your body exploding at the speed of light.
All right, that's bad. Okay. All right, important safety tip. Thanks, Egon.
They're professionals.
Oh, I'm the chairman of the largest paranormal removal company in America. You see it?
They're all that stands between you and the end of the world.
This city is headed for a disaster of biblical proportion. Real wrath of God type stuff. Fire and brimstone coming down from the sky. Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. Your girlfriend lives in the corner penthouse of Spook Central.
You want this body?
Is this a trick question? Got your stick? Hold! Beat him up! Smoke it! Make him hard! Ready!
Ghostbusters. Starring Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis. Ghostbusters.
We came, we saw, we kicked it.
And we're back. Hooray. For those wondering, Mass Hysteria was actually a story arc in the IDW comics that was published in 2011. Which
What's sad is I can still, without smoking my mouth, go.
We both can.
It doesn't show up on camera.
No, it doesn't. Okay, I suppose we might as well just crack into it.
The
original.
Crack the casing.
Yeah, the original. For those of you who, for some God's unknown reason, haven't seen this film, go watch it.
Go watch it. It's so good.
Ghostbusters tells the story of, well, two parapsychologists, or two paranormal experts, one con man and one average Joe off the streets.
He's a con man with a PhD.
In parapsychology.
And psychology.
Yeah, but he got these second parapsychology ones because he thought it would be an easy ace. He once wrote a paper on the theory of wolfmen gladiators in Atlantis.
I didn't disagree about his conmaniness. I was just saying he's a conman with a PhD.
Funny part is, Egon told him from a certain point of view he was probably right, given, multiverse.
Yeah. That's the thing, he's actually a lot smarter than he thinks he is.
No, he knows exactly how smart he is. The problem is...
he doesn't let people know how smart he is.
Until he needs to. There's a lot of times over the course of these films when Venkman does stuff and it's like, he is doing stuff from a certain point of view deliberately to get a reaction, which is very, very smart. Anyway...
Hard Fisher, your chair is ghostbusted.
Yeah, it is.
That's great.
When ghosts finally make their presence known, as seen in that trailer by Haunting a Library, paranormal scientists Egon Spengler and Ray Stantz jump for joy while their lab partner Peter Venkman kind of like grumbles because they're in the middle of interrupting him trying to use pseudo psychology to pick up college chicks.
Yeah.
So off they go to investigate because it turns out all their research, everything that they've been doing, Ray Stantz's obsession with the paranormal, Egon's obsession with the science behind proving the paranormal, all leads them to investigate this haunting. We went offline there for a second.
No, we're fine.
All goes to investigate this haunting in the library, which is, to be perfectly honest, comic gold. For those of you that haven't seen that opening scene, it is two very excited scientists and one humdrum con artist following along, kind of going, I have to be here. Oh, all right. And then they run into a ghost, and it is hilarious.
You guys are nerds.
Yeah, they run into a ghost. It is hilarious. They decide, okay, this stuff is real. We can actually do something with this. We've proven it. Unfortunately, it turns out the college isn't too happy with their exploits.
Yeah.
Mainly the fact that Venkman keeps electrocuting students as part of these tests.
That would be, yeah.
So they decide to kick him out, but it's all right because Peter has a plan. Get Ray's house a third mortgage to finance them building equipment to go into business ghostbusting. Cue one dilapidated firehouse later.
Well, it's kind of like how we ended up. How are we going to make ourselves look like we're useful? Podcasting. Podcasting.
Yeah. Cue one dilapidated lighthouse and a really much in need of work hearse. I mean, it needed everything. New shocks, new suspension, everything. Later. And we get the Ghostbusters. Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, we got 4 scientists. Well, 1 scientist, 3 scientists.
What?
2.
2 scientists.
And a psychologist.
Peter?
Yeah.
Peter. With the hiring of Janine Melnitz, their operation is in full swing. Later on, of course, they would hire Winston Zedmore because they needed the extra help and he needed the extra paycheck.
Yeah. He'll believe anything.
As long as you pay him. Of course, after a while, he'll
for life.
to be fair, after a while, it's kind of like, you know what? Okay, I'm really going to believe this stuff now.
Well, it's kind of hard not to.
Over the course of their investigations, much to Peter's delight, they meet the acquaintance of one Dana Barrett, who unfortunately happens to live in the penthouse of hell.
Sigourney Weaver.
Yep, pretty much. Dana unfortunately finds herself, living.
Possessed.
No, she's not possessed yet. At the time, initially,
haunted by demon entities.
Yeah, living in a trans-dimensional nexus
in her
basically
fridge.
In her fridge. Yeah, because apparently
that's where nexuses appear.
Yeah, her building was designed by a mad bastard named Ivo Shangor. Ivo Shangor. Shandor.
It's like a big, massive. It's designed to be like a big, massive laser penis of evil energy.
Well, it's a Gozer beacon. Yeah, come get us, basically.
Oh, no.
And finally, after, I think he built it in the 30s, the film was set in the 80s. So yeah, finally after 50 years, it starts to attract the Gozer's attention, which, okay, I'm not going to lie, part of what I know, part of what I'm about to explain is kind of got to do with comic books, but okay, here we go. Because Gozer was on his way to Earth, it weakened the fabric between the realms of ghosts and normal people, which is why paranormal activity spiked, which is why the Ghostbusters were able to get started in the first place. If Gozer wasn't on his way, ghosts wouldn't have been coming as much.
Oh, okay, so it's actually Gozer's fault that the Ghostbusters came into existence.
Kind of, yeah.
Irony!
Kind of. It's more like because the closer he was getting, the more ghosts were appearing.
Yeah, and the more ghosts were appearing, the more need for Ghostbusters there were. And the more need for Ghostbusters there were, the more famous they got. And the more famous they got, the more the mayor hated them. And the more the mayor hated them, the more they get locked up. That's movie 2, granted, but...
It wasn't the mayor that locked him up in movie 2.
It was his dick of the right-hand man.
Yeah.
He's right-hand dick man.
Yeah. While all this is going on, of course, the Ghostbusters draw the attention of one Walter Peck, who basically works for the EPA and wants to know exactly what the fudge these boys think they're doing.
Environmental Protection Agency.
Yep. What exactly do they think they're doing? He needs to take a look at the equipment. Venkman is adamant that is not going to happen.
You never use the magic word. What's the magic word?
Please.
Can I please look at the thing? No.
Actually, his exact words were, why would you like to look at our containment unit? This, of course, earns Peck's ire because Venkman is Venkman. We'll get back to that.
Because he's an ire maker.
He is, yes. Several other incidents happen over the course of the movie. Hilarious ghost encounters occur. Sigourney Weaver's character, Dana Barrett, has someone living down the hall from her, Lewis Tully, played by the amazing Rick Moranis. Now, unfortunately, Lewis is living in the same building, and unfortunately, he also gets a slap of the interdimensional stick.
Yeah.
When, let's see if I get this right, Vince Clortho, there, got that one, decides he's going to take Lewis's body for a spin after chasing him down in his great big demonic dog form.
Yeah.
That gives us the fantastic scene whereby the law knocks on the door of the Ghostbuster station. Janine answers it, looks and goes, dropping off or picking up? Dropping off. Okay then.
Yeah.
It was just so casual. So casual. Bit of investigation later, and Egon is convinced that this guy is most definitely possessed. You have, still to this day, I think it's impressive, Lewis is hooked up to this gizmo, like stuff on his head, and as he moves, there's a monitor in the background, and it's got the demonic demon dog form that moves in perfect time with Lewis's movements. And I know it's a small thing, but always thought that was brilliant. Egon and Ray start putting the metaphysical pieces together as to what's going on in regards Gozer, what's coming, the key elements that I forgot his name.
Victor?
No.
Who?
The key elements that Gozer's little disciples play in the entire drama. Dana Barrett ends up also being possessed, which is both hilarious and kind of a downer for Venkman, because he's going to pick her up on a date. It's kind of funny. Venkman, while being partially a womanizer throughout it, well, to a degree, he's a smarmy git. And at one time it's offered up to him as a play. It's kind of like, you're not in your right mind. I'm going to calm you down and not take advantage of this situation.
Yeah, like a proper
very,
gentleman
very
should.
well. To a degree, yes. Yeah.
Just should.
Yeah.
What you do.
Yeah. How did the lads end up getting locked up again? What did they do wrong?
It's movie 2 where they end up getting locked up.
No. They're in a jail cell in movie 1 as well. It's when they're figuring out the stuff. Remember there's that scene where
they start digging up a random hole in the city?
No, that's movie 2.
No, it's not. That's movie 1. They start digging up a random section in the city.
No, that's movie 2.
No, it's not. It's movie 1.
It's movie 2.
It's movie 1 because you were watching it happen with me.
In movie 2? In movie 2?
No, before we did the episode. It's movie 1.
No, it's not. They get arrested because that dipstick Peck comes in, turns off the containment unit, it goes kablooey, and they get done for...
Oh, yeah. That's actually...
Yeah.
But the thing I'm on about is in movie 1.
It's not. It's in movie 2.
It's in movie 1.
The digging the hole up in the ground?
Yeah.
To investigate the river of slime?
No. It was... Venkman is like acting like the foreman, and Egon and...
Is in movie 2.
Okay, fair enough, whatever. I'm nearly full sure it's movie 1. But anyway...
The whole reason they're digging up...
Yeah, I know that, but that wasn't Venkman that was digging up stuff with them. It was...
Egon was digging...
It was the 3 other lads that were looking for the goo to end up in the sewer. It
in
wasn't
movie
Venkman.
2.
Yeah, okay, but it wasn't Venkman that was with them.
Venkman, Stentz.
No, it was Ray, Egon, and Winston were in the sewer looking at all the big goop in movie 2.
That's later on when they go down into the subway lines.
Anyway.
Yeah, back to this one. Peck orders the containment unit shut off. It goes kablooey. The lads get arrested. They figure out exactly what's going on. Gozer comes forth, and people decide, you know what, maybe arresting the Ghostbusters was a terrible fucking idea. We're going to let them go off and actually deal with this crap because I'm the mayor and I don't want to do with it, and it's kind of mad, and what the hell are we doing
Well, that's
here?
kind of the story with the mayor the whole time, where he's like, God damn the Ghostbusters! Fuck your ghosts! Get them out!
Yeah, it's actually, even in the comics, it's kind of like the mayor gets touchy when the Ghostbusters aren't around to put New York first. No. The mayor gets touchy when the Ghostbusters are blowing stuff up and then aren't around to put New York first.
Yeah.
They go in and have to deal with Gozer. Once again, you get some of the most classic cinematic lines ever. Are you a god? No. The next time someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Doesn't work out as well as you think, though.
Yeah, all depends. The infamous crossing of the streams, and most notably, one of the most infamous and terrifying bad guys. Well, not really terrifying. Interesting fact. When Gozer tells them all, the boys, to, whatever they think of is going to be the form of their destroyer, and the lads all drain their minds, and then poor old Ray can only think of the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That, funnily enough, actually saves the Ghostbusters for all time, because apparently it weakened Gozer to the point that they could actually beat him from that point on, even in the cartoons and in the comics. And it's why Gozer fucking hates Ray. Hates him. With passion. It's hilarious.
Yeah, they got issues.
Yeah. But,
Damn you binding me to this infernal form.
Pretty much, yeah. The original Ghostbusters movie is just a masterpiece of comedy. It really is.
Comedy horror. Not even horror, it's not that scary. Never designed to be scary.
But the supernatural elements
in
it
are
really good.
Yeah.
The ghost designs in it are fantastic, to be perfectly
They're
honest.
brilliant. They're great.
Even looking at it now,
They actually piss all over the 2016 version.
Yeah, while you can point out at some things whereby, like...
where CGI wasn't as good. The dog busting through the door.
It was stop motion combined with that overlaying thing you explained to me.
It could have just been... It wasn't CGI. I'd say it was stop motion.
It's definitely stop motion. And then
it had a very Stan Winston vibe off the way that...
Harryhausen.
Sorry, thank you. Ray Harryhausen? Yeah, thank you. Sorry, not Stan Winston. Who's Stan Winston?
Modern movie making creature effects mastermind Predator and...
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry, I got my ears mixed up.
But even still, while looking at the film, the effects actually stand up to this day. The ghosts look way better than the 2016 because they're actual practical effects.
Well, it's just the 2016 ghosts just look like an episode of Goosebumps.
Once again,
they were very kiddie designed.
Yeah, it's more than that though. I think it's also because, as we have lamented time and time again, modern movies depend so much on CGI that, to be perfectly honest, while you might look at practical effects of being old-fashioned and it's low budget or whatever, they look more realistic.
These ghosts were guys done up like ghosts that were shot in front of a blank screen.
Fucking brilliant.
Corpseified.
Yeah, it's just so well done.
Yeah, it's great.
That combined with some really good dialogue. I mean, Venkman is just hilarious, and some of the straight lines that come out of Egon and even Ray. Ray has a little bit more humour, but Egon, some of these straight lines are just brilliant. It means that we end up with a film that, to this day, like I said, managed to get Best Comedy in 2005, and still has fans lining up wanting to see the next movie that's coming. And it's understandable why the studios wanted to get a sequel as quickly as they could, even though Aykroyd and Ramis were kind of against it because they had written the original movie to be kind of self-contained. It's kind of like, okay, that's it, that's a wrap, we're done. They came up with the cartoon to kind of be a vehicle because it's kind of like, okay, yeah, the kids liked it, let's go with that. And it took a lot of browbeating, but eventually, they did decide, okay, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll do your second film. And while not as well received, personally, I actually think it's just as much fun. And
I think it's good.
There are parts of the second film that are actually... You remember we were saying there isn't really that much horror elements in the first one?
Oh, no, Virgo or whatever his
Vigo?
name. Vigo, he's
I think it's more because of what he's after. There's one or two scenes in the second film, and just because it's the kid...
Well, when the face comes out of the picture, it's pretty creepy looking as well, you know?
Yeah,
we'll get into that a bit more.
Do we want to do...
Across the bad leg.
Do we want to do the trailer for the second film before we get into the second film?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Because that makes sense.
Yeah, we did the trailer for the first one already, so...
Yeah. All in all, if you haven't seen Ghostbusters somehow, although it was on about every Halloween and Christmas for about 25 years.
It is on every Halloween and Christmas, depending on whose house you live in.
Yeah, no, but I mean, as in on the Wellevision.
All right, I don't watch that.
Yeah, I know. Okay, cool. So we're going to go hit the trailer for Ghostbusters 2, have a smoke break, and we'll be right back to you. Ghostbusters 2. No, that's Ghostbusters.
Says you guys are full of crap.
A lot has happened since they saved the world.
Hi, welcome back to World of the Psychic. I'm Peter Venkman.
How is he these days?
Peter? Well, he was borderline for a while. Then he crossed the border.
They've been put down.
They think you're a fraud. I am a fraud.
Put away.
He's in danger.
We think they're seriously disturbed.
And put on trial.
I would have you burned at the stake.
Face it, Ghostbusters doesn't exist.
What will it take to make the world believe again?
Ah, no! Have you been out on the street lately? Do you know how weird it is out there?
The dead will rise.
The Titanic just arrived.
Better late than never.
The demons will wake. Evil will flow.
Slime! It's a river of slime!
It's like pure concentrated evil.
Evil? Treating other people like dirt is every New Yorker's God-given right.
You ignorant, disgusting blob!
This stuff responds to human emotional states.
Oh, baby. But when the slime hits the wall...
Who are you gonna call?
Get me the Ghostbusters! You got it!
Ghostbusters, yes, we're back.
It's slime time.
It's been a couple years since we used this stuff. I hope it still works.
Happy New Year!
Now.
Let's cook! 2 in the box!
Ready to go.
We be fast and
They be slow.
Who you gonna call?
Bill Murray,
Don't put any of those old cheap moves on me.
I have all new cheap moves.
Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis, and Ernie Hudson in an Ivan Reitman film.
We're the best! We're the beautiful! We're the only!
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters 2.
Who you gonna call?
Suck in the guts, guys. We're the Ghostbusters.
And we're back.
I don't think I said forward anything.
Please don't say forward anything.
I'm trying not to, but it is a natural inclination for me.
Okay. So, this is where things get... Actually, I'll tell you what, before we get into the movie, we'll do what we have coming up on the show. Okay. It ties in. Okay, so, as is per usual, on a Sunday, on American Horrors, myself and Giz have a TV show. And on that TV show, we talk about horror, and sometimes the horror that we talk about is in accordance with what we're talking about on the podcast. Today is one of those days.
Yes, it is.
So, one of the actresses from the movie we're about to talk about said some crazy shit.
I'm not the one we're about to talk about in a little bit.
We're only doing movie 2 now. Yeah. Sorry. Oh, God, never mind. Sorry, ignore me. We'll get into this in a minute. Not in a minute. Afterwards. Sorry, I thought we'd just done movie. Sorry, I'm so used to having the trailer at the end of the convo.
I know.
Threw me out of whack there completely. No, never mind. Sorry, movie 2.
Okay, then.
Picks up 4 years later. 5
years later.
It's 86. Isn't it?
It says it started 5 years later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 5 years later, the Ghostbusters find themselves, well, to be perfectly honest, out of business. As Venkman said, they did...
Cheech Martin pops up fucking everywhere, Kurgan.
Yeah. As Venkman puts it in one scene, they did a little work for the city and then got stiffed on the bill by some bureaucratic bookworm.
Yeah.
So as a result...
we appreciate you saving the city, but you also destroyed half of the city, and we're going to need financial reciprocation for the half of the city
that you wrecked.
But you do get these badges that say you're awesome for saving the city.
We'll just take them back now.
Yeah, because we can sell those.
Yeah.
So you now only owe us $1,592,995.
I don't know.
Dollars.
I don't know. The Ghostbusters have been relegated to Ray and Winston basically doing kids' parties.
Yeah.
Egon has...
Because they ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Yeah.
But they're most certainly not fast children.
They're terrified of kids.
Because kids are...
They want He-Man.
Yeah. Well... I can't say much now.
Yeah. As I said...
If you give me Ghostbusters or He-Man.
It's
got a tiger that turns into a bigger tiger. Do you know, it's like... Yeah, but I've got ghosts. I can't ride your ghost. I can ride the tiger. Don't even turn it into something sexy.
I don't need to. Ghostbusters already did.
Oh yeah, you got the BJ.
And he now in the comics has a ghost girlfriend.
A GBJ?
To be fair, she was his girlfriend and then something happened and now she's a ghost.
Is it necrophilia? Does it count?
I don't think so.
Hell yeah, bunny. Fuck yeah, Battle Cat for life. Word. Fuck yeah. Sorry. We all know what side of the fence I land on in that argument anyway. He-Man.
Anyway, back to Ghostbusters.
What up, bunny? How are you?
Hello.
He also says hello to you.
Hello. So anyway, as I was saying, Ray and Winston are doing kids' parties. Egon is back in college.
Yeah.
Peter is the host of World of the Psychic, which...
Sadly, Jesse Raphael, but instead of him talking to crazy people, he talks to crazy people.
Actually, not that crazy when you think about it.
Well, some of them aren't crazy.
First guy was right. That's the brilliant part.
Because it ties into the whole movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
The very first guest he's talking to has predicted that the end of the world will happen on New Year's Eve. Ray takes the piss out of him because he's written a book called The End of the World. And he's like, come on, buddy, it's...
We're just trying to release this.
Close.
How are you going to get any fun?
Paperback sales aren't going to be happening for at least
a
year.
You're not even going to get to enjoy
any of it.
A single dollar of it.
Any of it. So anyway, that's the story. And unfortunately, it doesn't quite go... Well, unfortunately. Fortunately, I guess, things don't go quite happy days for other members of the Ghostbusters world.
Any of them. They're having a rough go. Except for Egon. He's doing okay.
He is, yeah. But he's
getting to tinker with shit in the lab. He loves tinkering with shit.
Plus, smart is sexy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Egon.
Now, here's the thing. At some point over the last 5 years, Venkman being Venkman managed to fuck things up with Dana, and they are no longer together. In fact, she went off...
He went Venkman.
Yeah. She went off, got married, had a kid, got divorced. Yeah. This is relevant because the film pretty much opens with Dana Barrett walking down...
Wheeling a baby down the road.
Yeah.
And then she wheels the baby's carriage through some pink shit, and then all of a sudden the baby's carriage goes rolling. And
keep rolling.
What? Keep rolling.
My baby, no!
Baby on a sidewalk. Go boom!
Dana, naturally enough, having once been turned into a dog by an interdimensional being, decides, you know what? I should probably go and have a chat with the Ghostbusters.
This seems like something that a ghost... Well, I didn't let go of the buggy. I'll put it to you that way. Yeah, so, know... So ordinarily people would be like, oh, it was a gust of wind.
So, yeah, she has a chat with Egon. He agrees to bring in Ray and not to say a word of it to Venkman. Unfortunately, Venkman gets word of it because, well, he still hangs out with Ray and he walks in on the two boys doing their research bit and coaxes the information out of Ray by grabbing onto his ear and tweaking it until he tells him what's going on.
He didn't tweak it, he whacked them.
So, yeah, they end up investigating. Yeah. This would eventually
with some hilarious conversation between himself and Dana when he arrives at the apartment. Has your heart been as torn as mine? It's good to see you again, Dana. Yeah, play it on the cello.
I said we give us a second chance.
Yeah. I fucking love Venkman. He's such a... I don't know, is it just Bill Murray or is it like Dan Aykroyd's writing in Bill Murray, but he's just such a good package of a character. You know, he's like Ash from The Evil Dead. You know, he's the right amount of smarmy with the right amount of little bitch, but also when you need a hero, he does go a hero, albeit in his own way.
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Anyway, after checking out the baby and realizing that there's nothing wrong with the kid, they go to investigate the street where the kid went flying.
Is this a reboot, reimagining? No, we're talking Ghostbusters 2, and we have just reviewed Ghostbusters 1, and then we're going to be, after this, reviewing...
The redo.
The
reboot.
The 2016 one.
Yeah.
I feel that's the fairest.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, the lads go to investigate the street where it happened, and that's where they end up digging up the street.
Okay, I've watched a lot of Ghostbusters in a very short space of time.
Yeah, so have I.
Okay, it could have all just merged into the one.
The lads end up getting arrested for doing this because, well, they didn't exactly ask anyone's permission before digging up a big chunk of the street.
No, it's one of the reasons to keep getting in trouble, actually, is to keep neglecting. Do you know if they just got a permit?
Funnily enough, once again, one of the things that gets highlighted in the comics and leads to certain things happening.
What, the mayor being like, if you just like ring me and be like, there's a thing.
Peck becomes oversight for them, and actually, he ends up to a degree actually defending them from the FBI once or twice because kind of his exact words were, someone mentions that they've got.
Well, once you convince a guy who thinks you're a bullshitter that you're not a bullshitter,
it's not that they have interdimensional travel. Someone comments, "Why hasn't somebody in black suits come to take them away?" Peck goes, "Well, once you point out that it's really, really hazardous equipment that they put together that requires constant maintenance, they decided not to argue the point with the guy that once turned off the containment unit."
Yeah.
This thing will go boom. Trust me.
I love that in the movie as well when the street worker guy is like, you turn that off. You turn that off now. And then just before he pulls the switch, Egon's just like.
Anyway.
No words needed.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, lads get arrested for digging up New York, which leads to the fantastic scene in the courtroom whereby the hammer of a mayor or of a judge, I can't remember his proper name, but he's known as the Hammer.
Yeah.
Basically, finds them guilty of everything, and to be perfectly honest,
you're going away for life, you crazy, not so crazy crazies.
If he had his way, he'd harken back to a sterner day and
I'd have
them
your
all
head in
burned
buckets.
at the stake. And
Head
at that
in
exact
buckets,
moment,
you ghost witches.
and at that exact moment, the goo explodes, and we get the Scaleri brothers come back for vengeance.
Yeah, who he'd done what he was saying about with the thing.
Yeah, he
the-
tried him for murder in the chair. Needless to say, the boys are told that they can most definitely bust these ghosts, and they're put back in business.
Yeah.
They continue their investigation into the weird pink
I love
slime.
that bit as well. In the courtroom. Where it's like,
My guys are still under that judicial restraining order.
You got to get rid of these guys. Oh, I don't know what we like. Sure, it's all just a bunch of mumbo jumbo that we.
We have to talk to our lawyer.
We're going to have to talk to our solicitor because I don't really know if we're able to, with the orders and the court banning.
You have to do something. We can't do anything. Talk to our attorney. Yeah, that's me. My guys are still under that judicial restraining order. That blue thing I got from her. You don't want them exposing themselves. Make me just come in. You don't want us exposing ourselves. Fine, you can do it.
I don't think it's so much fun. He's a fucking comedy machine.
He is. But
Bill Murray.
As I said, the guys get.
I actually can't wait for Zombieland 2. He's in it. So he's obviously Zombie Murray's survived.
Okay.
I hope it's like a case of it goes like the Land of the Dead kind of thing, where it's like semi-cognizant and like it's
semi-cognizant.
Yeah.
I'm a zombie master Murray.
Yeah. It'd be fucking great.
Yeah. Anyway, the lads are back in business and they continue their investigation of the pink slime that they discovered under New York.
Yeah, and fuck me, there's a whole lot of it.
Yeah, they find that basically all the ill intent that
2
New Yorkers
viscera's
have.
worth of a Twinkie.
Yeah, this time it's definitely 2 Twinkies.
For anyone
worth.
who watched 90s wrestling, 2 viscera's worth of a Twinkie's a fucking big Twinkie.
Yeah.
It's a big Twinkie.
Basically, all the negative energy of New Yorkers has culminated into this hate-filled slime, which is powering a really badass ghost, which is after Dana's kid, so that he can reincarnate
Who lives
himself.
in a painting but talks through the face of a man from Sweden.
Vigo the Carpathian.
No, not him. Janos.
Oh, Janos.
Janos, the bitchy.
Oh no, he's from the Upper West Side.
Yeah, but he's obviously not from the Upper West Side, is what I'm trying to get at.
I know.
I'm aware he lives on the Upper West Side. I was there for the movie. I'm just saying, the accent leads me to believe he's not from America.
Yeah, but he's probably, Eastern European.
Yeah.
Maybe...
With a name like Janos.
Yeah. Janos.
Oh,
they say his second name. I know his second name. I can't remember his second name. Who cares?
Right. Janos is the curator of the museum that Dana works in.
Yeah.
Janos has a big painting of a freaky-looking motherfucker standing in
Vigo the Carpathian.
Asked the guy. Then one night, Janos is examining and having a look at the painting and taking a look at the work, and then all of a sudden, he's got a fucking Vigo in him.
Well, power.
He's got a Vigo powering him.
Yeah.
Like a Vigo Duracell battery.
The main running plot for this film, as I said, is Vigo trying to get his hands on Oscar so that he can reincarnate himself into Oscar.
The GoreCast is brought to you by American Horrors, the greatest uncut horror channel.
Sorry, I thought I was in the comments box. I was not.
Okay. Anyway, as I was saying, and thereby rule the 21st century. The lads are intent on stopping this. While the second Ghostbusters movie wasn't as well received by critics as the first one, it is
for shame.
Yeah, it is nonetheless a fantastic film. And like I said, in certain degrees, I think particularly the horror element, mainly because some of the aspects of going after the kid. It's a newborn baby. There's that scene where he lures Oscar out onto the
window.
Yeah. And you have the kid standing.
Very reminiscent of Labyrinth. Do you know where the kid's like just dangling on the edge of the steps? It's great. It's good. And because he's an adorable, cute little baby, it really does put the because because I won't lie to you, because it's obviously not green screened in. You're kind of like, how did they do that?
Yeah.
Because if the green was green, like there obviously was green screen in 80s.
Yeah.
It's green screen, but it didn't look green screened.
It was very, very well
very
done.
well done. Because you're like, that baby's gonna fall, but he doesn't. Because Janos the ghost comes through the sky like Mary Poppins.
Yes, very Mary Poppins.
A very freaky cross-dressing Mary Poppins.
Fucked up Mary Poppins.
Mm.
But yeah, as I said, Ghostbusters 2, while not as well received by critics, personally, I think it's just as much fun. It's...
You see, like, anytime you make a corker like Ghostbusters 1,
yeah,
everyone's always going to come in with this super brush of criticism when the next movie comes out.
It's because they
can't just look at it as its own thing. It has to be, oh, well, the first one did this. Yeah, but like that's why the first one was the first one and the second one's the second one.
Precisely.
You should be looking at the fact that the second one did this. Because it's a great story. Like what Ghostbusters 1 was a little more action-packed. Ghostbusters 2 was a little more thoughtful, I think, in storyline.
Just as action-packed, really.
I think the storyline runs a little bit deeper. There's a lot more kind of moving components going on.
Yeah, there is a more coherent storyline from the start.
Mm.
In the first film, there's the question of what is going on.
Yeah.
Whereas in the second film, they know there's something going on. It's just a question of tracking it down.
Yeah.
It does feel like a little bit more of a serious tone to the film, but at the same time, from certain elements, the comedy stuff is kind of tweaked up a little bit more. Most notably with Lewis and Janine.
Yeah, and Venkman as well. Venkman's like as much of a wise ass as he was in number 1.
Yeah,
he's cranked up.
Yeah,
like it's like
you get some brilliant stuff with Rick Moranis as Lewis Tully, especially when he decides to go being a Ghostbuster himself.
Nothing says efficient ghostbusting material like getting a bus to a location.
To be fair, it's a bus driven by Slimer.
Yeah,
so
which means you're going to get there fast.
Yeah. That's what I was
Maybe
thinking.
not all in one piece, but you're going to get there fast.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the best Slimer I can do. Unless it's from the cartoon where he's like being chastised and it's just like... I think Dan Aykroyd was in it. He fucking was. George Taylor.
Oh, right, yeah, Dan Aykroyd was in...
He most certainly was. He's in all of them, and he made it.
Yeah. Second film was written by Ramis and Aykroyd. Yes, it was.
Yeah, I think he was executive producer on what we're going to be talking about next.
Yeah. Do you want to put on that? I think we're pretty much wrapped up on the second one, so might as well move on to
the third one. Okay, so before we get into the third one, this is the bit that I went to do at the start of this bit, but it's actually not like it does. He sounds a bit like Schmeagol, except he doesn't speak any actual words.
Who? Slimer?
Slimer.
He does. In the cartoons.
Not in the cartoons. Yeah. Anyway, as is customary on a Sunday, myself and Giz have the TV show on the magical world that is American Horrors. Occasionally we do a podcast and the TV show all tie in together. Tonight's one of those nights. So one of the ladies of the cast from the next movie that we're going to talk about, which is Ghostbusters 2016, said some stuff on Twitter that we can only describe as crazy shit. And, well, not crazy shit, but like
uninformed,
out of field shit.
Yeah,
there you go. Out of field shit, and myself and Giz got some opinions on that. So make sure to join us over on AmericanHorrors.com or also on American Horrors Roku, which use channel code AMHOR to add us to your Roku listings if you want to watch it. And it'll be on at 2:30 a.m. GMT-ish or 8:30 p.m. CST-ish on American Horrors Roku. And we have this thing that we did. That's going to be done. We got this thing that we did, and then we're going to cut straight to the trailer, and then we'll come back and we'll talk. So basically, this is where the guy gets his head cut off.
Right.
Goes like this. Yeah. Blood everywhere. And I'm like, ah ha ha.
Nice. Hang on.
That's very rude.
I'm sorry, the phone's... Yeah. What? Hang on, who said what? That's just... No, Oh, gods. No, it's fine. No, we got this. We got this. We got this.
Evidently.
Here we go.
What have we got, mate?
Kitten.
Don't ever fucking call me kitten. Again.
Sometimes people talk shit. Someone has to deal with it. And who you gonna call? GoreCast! There's something strange on your TV screen. Who you gonna call? GoreCast! Need a horror show from the land of green. Who
Who you gonna call? GoreCast! I ain't afraid no show. I ain't afraid no show.
And we're back. That actually worked out quite well.
I thought it was going straight to the
Oh God, I keep forgetting about the second trailer. God damn it!
It's a class 4 operation. It's okay. She seems peaceful. My name is Erin Gilbert, Doctor of Particle Physics. That stuff went everywhere, by the way, in every crack. Very hard to wash off.
We have dedicated our whole lives to studying the paranormal. Now there's sightings all over the city. There are people out there that need our help. Holtzman, you're a brilliant engineer. Erin, no one's better at quantum physics than you. We can provide a real service.
I'm joining the club. You guys are really smart about this science stuff, but I know New York. And I can borrow a car from my uncle.
You didn't disclose that the vehicle was going to be a hearse.
It's a Cadillac.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh. Did you want to?
Sorry. I'll let you.
Next time. Okay. Someone is creating a device that amplifies paranormal activity. And we might be the only ones who can stop it. Holtzman, come on.
The hat is too much, right? Is it the wig or the hat?
There's a bigger picture at hand here. These ghosts can possess the human form.
Oh, hell no, the devil is a liar! Get out of my friend, ghost!
Ow, that's gonna leave a mark.
The power of panic compels you!
Ow!
Sorry, we're here. We're here.
We didn't
Sorry.
take off the watch.
No.
We swear.
That hasn't started yet. The Royal Rumble, the Royal Rumble started. For anyone who didn't know, myself and Giz are massive wrestling fans, and
We even do a radio show.
We even do a radio show / podcast with two guys from the States as well. But we once a year, WWE put on an event that can only be described as a late Christmas present, called the Royal Rumble, where they get everyone to come in a ring and beat the shit out of each other. It's great. Anyway,
Okay.
Ghostbusters 2016.
Okay, so it was announced.
Sorry, just before we move on, I forgot to say this before we went in. Also on American Horrors, after us, we have a new episode of Mission Terror, which ties in because it's a bunch of guys going around houses looking for ghosts. And it's really, really, really good. So make sure to go over and check that out. And to keep in the theme of kind of crazy, quirky ghost movies, Mr. H.D. Fisher has The Blood-Sucking Pharaohs of Pittsburgh with special effects by Tom Savini.
Nice.
Yep. And I think he might have actually... He might be more involved in it. But it's crazy. So, I'll be watching that / watching the Royal Rumble, not unlike what I'm doing now. But instead of Our Faces being on the screen here, it'll be the Royal Rumble. No, wait, it'll be American Horrors, and then the Royal Rumble will probably still be here. Although I might just relocate to a whole other room because it's kind of like an icebox in here at the moment. I can't feel my feet.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, God.
Okay, originally announced in 2014. The film initially...
And I really actually had high... Can I just say off the bat, I really had high hopes for this, to be blatantly honest. I am a big fan of Saturday Night Live, and on paper, that lineup, I was like, this is going to be great.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, initially the film received massive amounts of controversy because some men, for some unknown reason, decided to keep...
You can't be doing a Ghostbusters movie with women! It doesn't make sense! It's Ghostbusters! It doesn't say ghost women! It doesn't say ghost men either, dipshit. It says Ghostbusters. Which is a completely genderless fucking term.
Yeah.
Because anyone can fucking do it. If they've got the... as in literally anyone can do it.
More importantly...
Winston got hired off the street. He's not a scientist. He's just big enough to be able to hold a fucking...
Proton pack?
Proton pack, thank you.
Actually, to be perfectly honest, I did
Some
a video...
people are fucking stupid.
I did a video at the time on Den of Iniquity, even explaining all this stuff, and I even stated that there was already a women ghostbusting team in the comics. Yeah, I know, that's what I was looking at. I already explained that there was a female ghostbusting team in one of... Like, the new Ghostbusters was Janine, Kate Griffin, and Agent Ortiz.
Charlene, welcome.
Hello, Charlene.
Oh, actually, we should also say George Taylor, welcome.
Hello, George.
Who else did we miss? Bear Bunny, we said hello to Bear. And I think that's everybody.
There's my baby.
Who's your... What? Oh, yeah. Oh, holy moly.
I know.
I did not think they'd open with this.
I know.
For anyone who's not watching the Rumble, we're opening with Becky Lynch. Well, it makes sense because there's two women, there's two Royal Rumbles to happen.
I know, but...
okay, anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, the film was undergone straight away, and as a result, got a lot of negative criticism, including an active campaign to downplay its stars on IMDb and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, which was total BS.
Yeah, now, all that aside, the film itself, to be perfectly honest, isn't actually that great.
No.
Firstly, they were attempting to partially redo the original film.
Yeah,
retrospectively, I can understand why they were doing it. Once again, IDW tied up a lot of fucking loose ends with the comics and sorted all that.
But you see, the thing, and from a guy who shoots stuff, the thing when you do a movie is you shouldn't be relying on a comic to tie up loose ends.
Like for you after the fact. I get
the
it.
comics should be used to kind of like maybe further the story of a movie, like, or explain bits that were able to be left to the imagination and things like that, or go a bit deeper into things. But like, I think when you need an entire set of literature to tie up the ends of something. In saying that, I also there were some really good elements to the movie that I liked. It's just a very badly executed movie.
Basically, for those of you that haven't seen it, the reboot of Ghostbusters has, what's her name? Erin Gilbert. There we go. Has physicist Erin Gilbert working at a university. She's on the cusp of getting full tenure or whatever when she's approached by a guy.
Played by McKinnon, isn't it? Kate McKinnon.
Christine Wiig.
Christine Wiig. Sorry, I always get Kate McKinnon's Egon. The Egon character.
Yeah, Holtzman.
Yeah, sorry, I always get the two of them mixed up on Saturday Night Live as well.
Anyway, she's approached by a guy because basically, as we see in the opening scene, a house has become really, really ridiculously haunted.
Super haunted.
He wants her to go in and take a look at it based on the fact that she once wrote a book along with her partner at the time, Abby Yates.
Yeah.
Erin, unfortunately...
Played by Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa McCarthy. Gilbert, unfortunately, believes this book was never published, first of all, and is kind of shocked and goes to talk to Abby and get it taken care of. Over the course of doing this, she also divulges the fact that she was approached by a guy about the house being haunted.
Yeah.
She's introduced to Abby's lab partner, the insane Holtzman.
Yeah. I will get into that in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like this.
She's fucking
she's
crazy.
She's a mad scientist.
Yeah. No, she's just.
She's mad.
She's fucking crazy, but she's also crazy smart. But she's fucking crazy.
Yeah, precisely.
Like she's fucking crazy.
They go off to investigate this house, and much like the first film, they capture the first real evidence of a haunting, whereby you have this big CGI ghost and it spews slime all over Christine Wiig's character.
Yeah, I did think that was a bit funny, where it was just like, I think it's friendly. I think it's friendly. What's your name, ghost?
You see, this is the thing about that film. It has points that are done very, very right and very well.
Some of the comedy is really on point.
And then there's other stuff, like there's
my throat there.
I know you probably shouldn't have done that. There's a conversation I think that's had outside that unfortunately exemplifies what's wrong with the film, and that is there are all these moments whereby you have these random segues into stuff that has fuck all, if anything, to do with the actual plot of the film.
There's an underlying storyline that's literally the fact that Melissa McCarthy can't seem to get a wonton soup order right with this Chinese dude.
It's just a running gag they have.
Yeah, but it's like...
it's Doug Pender from Deadpool.
Yeah. But
clearly he got fired.
The problem with that running gag, though, is that running gag just keeps interrupting actual storyline.
Yeah.
Like, there's 5 scenes with him.
Is there?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll say 4, because one of them might have actually been an after-credit scene. No, actually, no. It was that's still part of the movie. So,
but anyway, they get their first real proof of paranormal stuff.
Yeah.
And decide to investigate further. They were approached then by Paddy Tullen. Yeah, there we go. I couldn't remember this.
Stop listening to me with earphones on, Charlene.
What?
I blew her ears out again. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, they're approached by Paddy Tullen, who is a subway worker, who basically discovers a ghost in the subway lines, gets freaked out.
Yeah. But she discovers a strange man in the subway lines, and then discovers a ghost pretty soon afterwards.
Yeah. Now, there's an interesting thing here. They did a reshoot of some scenes based on the negative criticism that happened before the film was even released. Negative criticism due to the trailer that they released. There's a scene that was shot and put in for the extended version whereby they're looking at the YouTube video that they uploaded of their proof. And they're reading
and everyone's saying
what
what a pack of bullshit it is.
Yeah, all these negative comments.
Yeah.
Now, Paddy, on the other hand, has seen this YouTube video and goes to them genuinely saying, I've seen a ghost, come take a look.
Yeah.
They investigate further and, well, once again, more proof. It expands on their knowledge. They end up basically getting more attention brought to themselves. This leads to a Walter Peck-like character played by Bill Murray coming along and trying to debunk them.
Isn't his name Peck? Weck. No. Peck?
No, it's...
what is it? He's got a cool name.
Martin Heiss.
Yeah.
Anyway, he tries to debunk what they're doing, and even though they managed to capture a ghost, Aaron rises to the bait and releases the ghost. It all goes tits side up, and yeah.
You and I had a great debate as to who was at fault in the overall situation of that.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to the main plot of the story, it turns out that there is actually a guy who is working to tear the veil and bring ghosts to our world. And funnily enough...
And become one.
Yeah, funnily enough, the science that he's using is all based on the stuff that he read
from your book.
Yeah, in Aaron and Abby's book. So it's kind of like a problem they half created themselves. This increases ghost activity, which gets the female ghost busting team more notoriety, gets them hired, gets them jobs. Also leads to them eventually encountering I can't remember his name. No, can't remember his name.
I don't know who you're on about.
The guy that's trying to cause all the ghosts. Unfortunately, the government are aware of spectral activity and they try to downplay the female team's activities, basically saying that they're con artists.
Rowan. What? Rowan?
Yes, Rowan, thank you. They basically say that they're con artists and they're just,
yeah. We appreciate all of the work that you've done, but here's the story. If people know there's ghosts about, there's going to be mass panic, and we just need you to look like a bunch of crazy bitches, to be honest.
Yeah, so they completely ridicule them to the press, and...
Yeah, they're murdering each other, by the way, just let you
know. I know, I'm watching.
Yeah. Keep going.
Sorry. Yeah. Eventually, Rowan's plan comes to fruition, and there's a massive explosion of spectral energy, which has the girls basically tooling up and going to deal with. Overall, this film suffers from a number of things, most notably its overuse of CGI when it comes to the ghosts. In comparison with the original films, they look fake, which is ridiculous considering
it's
like
20 years. 20 years in the difference. Well, nearly 30.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually 30, actually, yeah.
Pretty much 30 years worth of a difference.
Yeah.
The other things that this film suffers greatly for is the style of humour that's used.
There's a terrible mix of cheesy one-liners, literal fanny jokes, and toilet humour. And
It's
sneezes.
always in twos. The most annoying thing for me about this film is the segue into absolute inanity that happens anytime something serious is broached. Serious questions get asked of Melissa McCarthy's character and Christine Wiig's character, and it just leads to them having random conversations about nothingness.
Yeah.
We're not even going to get into the stupidity that is Chris Hemsworth's character.
Bless you, by the way.
Thank you. We're not even going to get into the stupidity that is Chris Hemsworth's character. They spend nearly 10 minutes on an interview with this guy, and he's literally the exact opposite of Janine Melnitz. Literally the exact opposite. Completely fucking brain dead. Actually, like, I think he defines the word special. You know, he says that noise was really loud and covers his eyes.
Yeah. And then, like, one of my major issue with the movie was, like, if you looked at the original way the guys worked, they were quirky. Do you know what I mean? It was like, were these scientist guys or Ray and Egon. Do you know, they were like eccentric, and quirky. Whereas, like, what's her name, McKinnon? I can't remember the character's name. Holtzman is like literally verging on should be locked up.
Yeah.
You know,
she's like mad scientist level,
and it's in that cartoon level of mad scientist. Whereas, like, in the first movie, there was like, albeit BS science completely, but there was like science behind what they were talking.
To be fair, based on work at the time, to a degree.
Yeah,
the 80s saw a big boon in pseudosciences.
Aykroyd was major into that stuff, legit.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, there was it was tweaked on like a lot of the science and stuff at the time, whereas this stuff was just, I've managed to build like a nuclear reactor on, like literally at one stage she was like, I wouldn't crash that car into anything. It's essentially a nuclear reactor on the roof. And she was like, you robbed 3 trolleys. You have no money. You robbed 3 trolleys worth of gear out of a half-ass college.
Yeah.
And where did the ability to make a nuke come out of? They're literally murdering each other.
I know. Yeah, as I said, this film, unfortunately, I think the biggest problem and the reason that it failed is that it fails to capture the spirit of the original films. You actually feel all 2 hours of this movie. In fact, I felt it like 10 minutes into it.
It's teeth grinding.
It is. And it's disappointing too, because now, once again, this is something that it turns out...
I've got a pretty low caliber of humour, and there was even jokes in this that I was just Jesus.
What annoys me is there was something that I actually liked about the film, and I didn't realise that the only reason that it's in it is because I was watching the Blu-ray version, which kind of redid the IMAX thing. There are times when, like, slime will be spewing out, and it's coming over the pillbox format for the screen.
Yeah.
Or the beams. It's like they're shooting out of the screen. I thought that looked cool. I thought that was a really, really good idea. Unfortunately, it's hampered by the fact that their CGI looks bollocks. And, you know, the humour is annoying. The storyline is irritating.
The characters aren't remotely relatable. They're all portrayed as idiots who happen to just be smart.
Yeah.
It's like outside of your book learning, you're actually, like, I think you may have suffered a concussion.
Possibly, yeah. I mean...
not trying to get too much into, like, what we talk about on the upcoming episode, but just to clarify, I have no issues with the fact it was an all-female cast. I wanted this movie to be fucking great.
Yeah.
But it was just... And as I said, a lot of it actually... a lot of it does come down to the director as well, because it's like him and the screenplay writer are the guys that put that shambles of it, like, you know, like, even if you, like, because you kind of felt Melissa McCarthy kind of had a lot of input into it, but, like, she's not the director, so Paul Feig should have been like, I get the one-time thing, and the 1 or 2 times that was kind of funny, but, you know, number 5 now is a little bit like, maybe just go to a different Chinese restaurant. Do you know? And that's only one of many kind of just reoccurring annoyances that are passed off as kind of humour in it.
Yeah, I think there are times in the original Ghostbusters movie, and it's It's a symptom of modern films in general, I think, that modern movies seem to have forgotten the art of subtlety.
Yeah.
There's a way of making a joke whereby it's funny because it's subtle and because it means you actually
But you don't need to put the joke in someone's face. It's you just tell the joke and the audience get it, and that's it.
This is going to make me look like a fucking moron, right? But I'm going to admit it anyway. While rewatching Ghostbusters 2, I actually got a joke now that I never got.
Which one?
Do you remember there's the part where Peter and Dana are there and they have Oscar and she's like, I need to put him down for bed.
Yeah.
And she goes,
the pizza thing, is it?
And no, it's I need to put him down. And then Peter goes, may I? And she goes, yeah, sure, if you want. And he just looks and he goes, you're short, your belly button sticks out too far, and you're a terrible burden on your poor mother. I just thought that was a really mean thing to say to the kid for years. Yeah. It never dawned on Peter.
He's putting the baby down? Yeah. Figment.
My point is, there are jokes in the original films that worked on many subtle levels. Yeah. And yes, I admit, maybe I'm a slow bastard for not having grasped that one. But the new film, much like many comedies, and much like many horrors...
It's a joke!
Yeah,
this is why it's funny! It's because... Do you get it? Because it's funny! This is why... No.
Then we're going to do it another 10 times, just to make sure we've driven home the point.
When you tell a joke and then you need to sit down and explain the joke that you told the audience, it means it's not a good joke. Jokes shouldn't need to be explained. Yeah. That's rule 101 of jokeology. Yeah. I made up that word, to be blatantly honest.
I know, it was funny.
Thank you.
Although it wasn't when you explained it. Ba-dum-bum.
I didn't explain it.
You did, you explained, you made it up.
No, I just felt
Anyway.
Honestly, I felt I should...
Okay.
Well, just in case anyone's like, jokeology, Jesus, I never knew. Jesus, you should go and do a course in jokeology. And then their friend's like, what do you want about? And you're like, jokeology. And then I feel like an asshole because they've looked like an idiot. So I just thought in the interest of fairness.
Anyway, the point is that the subtle art of humour has been lost in modern cinema to a degree. Don't get me wrong, there's a great deal of fantastic comedy still being made.
Oh, yes.
But this film is a prime example.
Too.
Oh, my God! Big Bear, he's strong and tough. Big Bear, he's good enough.
Big Bear.
Oh, man, fucking brilliant.
So good. Oh, she's getting angry.
Can
finish the movie.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, this film suffers from that problem, I think, most of all.
And it suffered from getting just kind of, once the whole debacle about, you can't be having a female cast in it, kicked off, the movie ended up becoming this kind of a martyr for women's rights.
Yeah, which it failed to deliver on due to the problems that we just saw.
But it also didn't deserve to have that weight on its shoulders either. It was supposed to be just a movie.
But the thing is, it's
still not a good movie. I'm not disputing that made the movie worse.
Honestly, I think it was singled out just because when you have any kind of cult following franchise like Ghostbusters or like many of the things from the 80s, when you have something like that and you go along and you try to redo it,
you need to handle it with a level of delicacy.
You do. I mean, to be fair, the Transformers didn't get a really good fucking cover or a really good fucking redo this year. Bumblebee is fantastic. The opening scene of that movie is like watching my fucking youth brought to the big fucking... It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And as a result, it means that...
We know what's fake. What's fake?
You know it's fake, right, guys? Oh, the wrestling.
Oh, the wrestling. Yeah, but it's...
No, it's predetermined. There's a difference. You get thrown off a fucking ladder. Tell me how fake it is. Anyway,
Yes.
Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, when it comes to remaking stuff that a lot of us grew up in, it needs to be handled in a certain way. And this film wasn't handled correctly at all. And what's worse, because it has that kind of following, it leaves itself open to a certain amount of criticism. Unfortunately, this time around, for some strange unknown reason, because that whole fucking Gamergate and the rest of it, because of that whole Gamergate and the rest of it, because of the whole Gamergate and the rest of it, it allowed a bunch of narrow-minded fucktards who live in their fucking parents' basements because they don't have the fucking spine to take their fucking balls out of their man purses to go along and bitch and whinge about something that they shouldn't have bitched
I
and
won't
whinged
say this
about
to the girl.
just 'cause
I
they
won't
can't
say
get a
this to the
fucking
girl.
date.
I won't say this to the girl that fucking pissed me off in town. But I tell you what, I'm gonna take it out on your fucking ass. What I'm gonna do? These goddamn women in the goddamn movies and none of them deserve to be in it with the fucking women. Men are where the cinemas at. That's what it is. Men are where the cinemas at. You're all Muppets. You're idiots. Apes.
Like, yeah, seriously.
And you're apes. Idiot. Go back. Go climb your tree and eat a fucking banana or whatever it is the hell you started getting. It's stupid.
All that, give it a negative spin at the start to begin with. Unfortunately, the film never lived up to the hype that it fucking built. It never lived up to the trailer.
Well, it didn't. It lived up to the trailer because the trailer was not remotely good.
The trailer promised. The trailer built a film that looked like it was taking place 30 years later. This film has
that is quite true, actually. Yeah,
with the original too. Most people would have went to see that film based on the fact that cool
continuation. Yeah,
they're
the daughters of the guys or some shizzle like that.
Yeah, which is why before this just I think to round things up, which is why I'm so apprehensive. Well, not apprehensive, which is why I am not as overly hyped about the new film being announced as a lot of other people are, because we're being told one thing by Sony, but it could be something completely different. I wasn't looking. I was looking at there.
Yeah, she's ripping her arm out.
I know.
Could just let you know.
I know.
Also, George Taylor's Kane.
Okay.
He's mayor now.
He is Mayor Kane, mayor of Hard Knocks. That's
or Pete
brutally
Dunne.
wet. Yeah. Like I said, overall, the Ghostbusters Answer the Call, as it became known later on, failed to deliver on what everyone was hoping for. However, the characters did get integrated into the IDW comics, and they
did actually give the film a different title, because it's weird. It's like titled Ghostbusters, but then on the end titles is actually titled Ghostbusters Answering the Call.
Yeah, the reason for that was to distinguish it from the original movie, because people would have gotten confused.
No, it was just that one of the people there said they should have given it a different title.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did, but they didn't.
Well, once it came out on DVD and everything, it had the subtitle underneath it.
Answer the Call,
yeah. And the kind of merchandising and stuff was kind of tweaked, stuff like that. In the IDW comics that have come out, they're known as the Answer the Call team. They even had their own series, which kind of follows on from that film, 4-issue miniseries, after they were already introduced into the main continuity through dimensional displacement.
Yeah, let's see, can I find one of those pictures quick? I think it's... What was the one with the...
You had the cover for one of them, didn't you? No?
Yeah, I think it's... Crossing Over.
No.
Oh, yeah, no, it's Answer the Call, isn't it? Yeah.
Second
just sort of... Yeah, there we go. So, like, there's the cover. Yeah, I should be able to move that. There's the cover for the Answer the Call team. There's the lasses there now.
Yeah.
So and they're an integral... That's actually a pretty good comic. We'll just get rid of that now. Go. There you go. So you get a little gist of it.
Yeah. Like I said,
I have to say I'm loving the update on OBS. You're able to do all this, so just easy access. Remember, I used to have to do it all sub menus and. What? She lost. Sweet. She's going to be in the Rumble. Okay, cool. Put money on it.
I think I just cracked my elbow when I pointed.
Okay. We're going to have to start rounding off soon. We're going to have a mental breakdown.
Yeah, like I said, Answer the Call unfortunately failed to live up to the heightened expectation, which is why, while I am excited to see that there's a new film coming out in 2020, I am curbing my expectation based on the fact that
Sony already lied through their assholes.
Yeah, they did. That teaser trailer harkens back to the old days. Now, we do know that it's Jason Reitman, isn't it? Yeah. We do know that Jason Reitman, who's the son of Ivan Reitman, is going to be directing. That is a plus. We do know that Dan Aykroyd is going to be all up in that because he can't help himself. Ernie Hudson would be up for doing it. He hasn't been approached yet. Nobody knows what the story is with Bill Murray, because apparently you need some form of divining rod to find him on his best days.
He does. Bill does Bill.
Bill does Bill. At the moment, it's theorised that the story will be a passing the torch, which might be reminiscent of the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon, which saw a bunch of college students taught by Egon taking up the Ghostbusting call.
Yeah, with fantastic hair.
Yes. What? Egon?
No, not Egon. The chick in the orange jumpsuit, if memory serves me.
Kylie?
Yeah, great hair.
Goth chick. Yeah.
That's why.
Yes, it is. This time around, if it is that kind of case, I would imagine it would probably be Dan Aykroyd perhaps teaching a bunch of students, as Ray. Needless to say, I will be looking forward to the new Ghostbusters movie, and because Ghostbusters is fucking awesome, there's also an animated movie on the way out which might be telling a story from the ghost point of view, and another new
that'd be interesting.
And another new cartoon series which would be set in the year 2050, which got kind of put on hold while they did work on the animated movie. So
nice.
Yeah. That coupled with the continuing IDW comics means that, to be perfectly honest, regardless of what people might think about the latest 2016 Ghostbusters movie, the franchise, the stories are going to be continuing on, and
rocking on strong.
Can't wait! It's going to be awesome.
All right, good. Well, in that, Elvira for president. Fuck yeah. Okay, on that note, from myself and the Giz, join us over on American Horrors in 2 hours, where we're going to be talking a little bit more about the thing from Twitter that we were discussing earlier. And other than that, happy Rumble, everybody. GoreCast out.